Let's try that again, shall we?
All right.
That really does give it a different flavor.
What does? Spitting it?
Aerating your coffee as you drink it. I mean, spitting in it too.
Aerating your coffee.
Yeah, I know. Taste testing. You're supposed to like let it aerate.
Sure.
You're supposed to chug it down as fast as possible.
I just get gyrate.
Sweet.
The audio's still not on?
Sweet. I haven't even
we can hear. Great. Okay.
Can we hear?
Woo-hoo, yes.
I don't know, I'm trying to load it.
Let's go.
Hi guys,
Let's restart that all the way from the top.
All right.
All the way from the top.
So, stream number 2.
Wait, wasn't a party. Something. I made fun of Brandon Morgan's lack of solid choices on things.
Okay.
Yeah, there we go.
All right.
Good. Don't be in the fight.
So David's back. If you've been joining us the last couple of weeks, you'll notice that he was conspicuously absent. Conspicuously, you know?
Yeah.
Cruise.
I got mine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes. Vacation. Who does that anyway?
Yeah.
Ain't nobody got time for that except for David.
But
So-
like,
yeah.
like we start off with this when the audio wasn't working. We've gotten our demo sets in from Games Workshop. And also a copy of each of the indexes. So we've had people coming in all this week looking up new rules for their army. Me and Mark have been assembling the new models and trying to get a demo set all set up.
Yeah.
So
We'll do a little, pan through with the camera later. It looks great.
I hope everybody else's video is working better than my video. It was very slow right now.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I don't know why.
That's weird. But you can hear it just fine, which is good.
Yeah.
That's exciting.
Well-
We don't normally have technical difficulties.
So I guess if you have any questions about the new 40K rules, ask us. And if we have any technical issues, I guess you'll also be our testers for that. So let us know if you can't hear us or can't see us or any other thing that's wrong with the feed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Everything is awful.
In the meantime, let's go ahead and get started with what is brand new that we kind of weren't leaked before. Now that we have the books, we can say for sure like XYZ.
And if you have any questions, I will gladly root through as many books and indexes to find it. So you'll see me rifling through a book over here for a while as I try to take people's answers and questions.
Games Workshop up to this point has been doing really good at like letting all the rules out ahead of time of the rulebook coming out. So there's not really much to build on the core rules, but they're in the main rulebook. There's like an advanced rules section, which is really neat, and that's the one that's going to include things like cities of death and all that sort of stuff. One of my favorite ones is the battle zones. Have you seen that?
I heard about the Psyker one.
Yeah, yeah. So there's battle zones in the game. So basically it's
3 of them now?
yeah, there's 3 battle zones, and I'm assuming they're going to add more in, especially with campaigns and things like that. But they're basically like overall effects to the game. Like the Psyker one makes all of your psychic abilities stronger, like casting and dispelling, but gives you much different effects for perils, kind of closer to the old perils chart. So that's kind of cool. And then there's 2 other ones that I haven't read through yet because they're not Psyker related. And
That's a Thousand Suns player would make sense.
yeah. But yeah, so like a lot of the stuff that we have now is going to be the nitty gritty, the specifics, army based ones. I've been reading a lot of the Chaos Space Marine rules. I know Mark's been doing a lot of the Imperium ones.
Yeah.
And David has just been absorbing whatever knowledge he can while at the store.
Without time to read the book, I just rub it against my skin and hoping I absorb it osmosisly.
I know that we're here to field questions, but I have one question. Why are Skitarii and Admech still separate?
Oh, are they?
Yeah,
I
in the
thought-
book there's a section for Adeptus Mechanicus, and then there's a section for Skitarii still.
Do they have a same keyword like Adeptus Mechanicus, Skitarii, or
I believe so.
we
Yeah,
could
they're probably
find out?
all Adeptus Mechanicus.
Imperium 2 at the...
Who wants to
second from
find
the-
out?
Second from the bottom.
Yeah.
First question. While I root this through, I'll let you guys go to some others.
Well, let's explain keywords for those of you who...
Yeah.
Yeah, so
Fine.
keywords is the... I know we had a question about list building.
Yes.
In match play, keywords are the key
words.
keywords.
Yeah,
Nice. So basically,
Thanks, David.
Keywords are the core
I tried.
of list building. So every model in your army, no matter what detachment it is in your total points, has to have at least one of the same keywords in common. So you go from the very broad, like Imperium or Chaos, to the very specific, like your chapters, like Thousand Suns or Salamanders or Skitarii.
They all have the keyword AdMech, by the way. Chris
Yeah,
has.
yeah, exactly.
Yeah. So
And the other stuff doesn't do anything currently.
Yeah.
But it will, because they'll have books out that are doing things.
Yeah, and that's another thing. I've heard people complaining, like, oh hey, I don't have chapter abilities or legion traits or whatever.
That is a question of how do we feel about no chapter tactics for Space Marines.
I'm personally okay with it right now with the release. Like, there's so much new information. There's so many different ways to play. I'm just glad right now that like I can still build a Salamander's force.
Yeah, it's more based on characters you take.
Yeah, and Vulcan Heston will buff all of my weapons within a certain range of him.
Vulcan does?
Huh?
I couldn't get past Lysander. I got the Lysander.
Oh,
My
yeah.
mind exploded.
Supposedly he's really good.
Damage 3.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Bam!
But so it's
No
getting
penalty to hit.
closer and closer to me wanting to build back Salamanders because they're getting a lot of attention and love. But yeah, so a lot of the no chapter tactics or traits or things like that is done by characters having an aura around them.
Yeah. Yeah, I think it's definitely going to go to a game where you have massively more heroes and
plus-
characters than you had before.
Plus, I imagine there's so many different types of detachments you can take, and they say there's going to be more in each book. So when the Marine Codex inevitably comes out, it'll have Marine-specific, like, probably detachments that you take. So if
Yeah.
you want a Salamander detachment, there'll be
Yeah.
whatever.
Yeah, I'm sure, what is it, Imperial Fists or the Masters of Siege, so they'll probably get more tanks and all that sort of
Ross
stuff.
is asking me, do Space Wolves get access to all the newer Space Marine toys as well?
Yes.
I'm going to look it up.
Yeah, so one of the
Yeah.
things that they had on the list building is in each one of these indexes, they'll have like a little sub-chapter for your legions or chapters.
Yeah.
So for Thousand Suns, I know this one because I've read it a bunch, it'll say, hey, this is what you can take as a Thousand Suns viable list. And it doesn't have all of the chaos options in it, but it does have some Thousand Suns specific ones, and it kind of is a way to make the army a little bit more fluffy.
Yep. And a lot of the Primaris stuff in the keyword says chapter in parentheses.
Yeah.
So it's like your chapter goes in that
They
parentheses.
can have most stuff. It says
Yeah.
if there's a list underneath the Space Wolf army list, and it says if it does not appear on this list, it cannot have the Space Wolf faction keyword. So you can take them because they'll have the keyword
Chapters.
Marine.
Yeah.
or Imperium.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You just won't get any Space Wolf benefits unless they say. However, it is a lot of stuff, including the new Land Raider Excelsior.
Yeah.
I've wanted to say that. So
That-
much.
that's the Land Raider Excelsior, and what's the Rhino? Is it Dominus
the
or
Primaris. That's the Damocles. It's the Damocles Rhino
Yeah,
got
yeah.
renamed to the Primaris Rhino.
So basically, they were revealed at Warhammer World. The Land Raider Excelsior
Excelsior!
is
Saying it wrong, John.
is a
It's just like the
fancier.
way he says Zangor wrong.
Yeah, I know. Basically, it's got a grav gun on it and some other features to it, which is kind of cool. But it's kind of like the start of some newer models, just like we've seen previews of the what is it? Is it Redemptor Dreadnought? Yeah, it's
There's the Redemptor Dreadnought and then
Repulsor,
the
right?
Repulsor
Yeah.
Repulsor.
Grav tank.
Yeah,
Flying
for-
box.
Yeah. No, well, I think, I mean, I personally love the look of all the new stuff.
Your own personal companion cube.
Yeah. As a painter, those guys, it looks like were designed to not just be airbrushed. So, like the older stuff, lots of big, sweeping, flat panels, which is gorgeous on the model, but it makes it difficult for someone who's new into painting to kind of jazz it up or
Yeah.
make it look nice.
Too
But
flat.
yeah. But these new ones have a lot of angles and like segmented armor and things like that, which as a new to intermediate painter gives you a lot of options and variety to paint it up.
Washes are more
yeah.
effective.
Washes-
Edge highlighting is
Yep.
more effective.
What's
Yep.
weird about Land Raiders? They can carry Centurions, but not Primaris.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. They're
Centurion counts as 3 guys. Like he's like a time and
Yeah,
a half
but
Primaris.
this is the height.
yeah.
yeah.
They're going to hit their heads constantly on the way out.
Well,
but-
I heard the Imperium does have lousy health insurance, so that like back
Oh.
injuries are not covered.
Yeah.
So it's stupid.
So Trump is the god emperor then.
No.
No vision and no dental.
Hey man,
So
we don't need any negative confetti here.
so that's one of the things. Like Primaris look like they're going to get their whole line of everything. So you'll see transports, you'll see dreadnoughts, you'll see all that sort of stuff out specifically geared towards the Primaris
Yeah. So be patient.
faction. Yeah. I actually had the first game yesterday versus Tristan. If he's watching, baby.
Sorry.
Oh God, it wasn't that bad. But it
If you're
was.
watching Tristan, I'm really sorry for
Yeah.
the War Flamers.
Yeah, no, but it was fun. Being able to check it out, and as playing it, we both kind of
Ooh,
came to the
here's a new
David.
yeah. we came to the same conclusion that with the starter box, Primaris is a starter box army. They just don't have the options yet. The Marines are strong. Their options are great. Their captain was really cool.
Gravis armor guy.
Yeah.
Wait, who is he? What?
Let's Mark, if you know the rules.
I know that the Gravis armor, it looks very Terminator-y, but it gives you +1 toughness instead of +1 to your armor save. So you actually get like a nice bonus with it where he can take the heavier hits, not so much as like field the armor saves your squad needs. He can actually just say, "Hey, you didn't wound me at all."
Well, he's
I don't
not
have
going
to
to
make the
field
save.
armor saves anymore anyway. The squad takes because he can't join the squad.
Well, yeah, but I mean in melee.
Yeah.
And you always have to
Under
shoot.
rules, man.
Yeah, you have to shoot the well, you don't have to shoot the closest thing, but if there's a character who is further away than another target, you can't shoot the character. The character has to be the closest thing if you're going to shoot it.
Unless it's over 10 wounds.
Yes.
Your big fat monsters. If it's over 10 wounds, basically anyone can shoot it no matter what, because it's such a large threat that they're happy to ignore the guys in front of them.
Also, it's
Break.
really tall.
Break.
No.
that was
I
good.
have to be able to answer the questions. See, I'm
Yeah,
going to put my
yeah.
hand up
Yeah, you
when
let,
I'm ready,
you let him get to the
when I'm
period
ready
of
to
the sentence.
interrupt.
That's good.
And you can't start another question. Anyway, Stephanie DeMarco has asked a new question. Do you believe Dark Eldar can win and not fall apart when it hits the table now that it's called Drew Carey?
Ooh.
Drew Carey.
yeah.
The price is right for Dark Eldar.
just them changing the name made them infinitely better.
Yeah.
Yes.
From the rules leaks and the spoilers that we've gotten, they're still relatively frail. I mean, compared to a Space Marine, they don't have the armor and all that, but they hit much harder and they're much more maneuverable.
Something came up in your game yesterday that I think is going to make them really good is you can't shoot out of vehicles anymore
Yes,
unless
unless
they're open top.
unless they have a specific rule, and all
What?
of Dark
What?
yeah.
Tell me.
Yeah,
Okay, so,
so-
FYI, just
so-
so you know.
so as a Marine-
I'm a new player and I chose Dark Eldar. So all this Dark Eldar
Yeah.
stuff
Yeah.
is good for me.
So
Tell me.
as a Marine player in the old edition, what you used to do is you'd ride up your rhinos and then a bunch of guys special weapons pop out the top and shoot at it. Like, can't do that anymore. It doesn't happen.
Get two
Unless you're an open top vehicle, then you can shoot out. But only basically Orcs and Dark Eldar have access to open top vehicles. And Orcs and Dark Eldar were two that people were worried about not being competitive in this edition. That's a big buff to be able to move and shoot and then get out and shoot and then it's off.
Yeah.
Right.
So, and another
Kind
thing
of
we were
incredible.
talking about before, another big benefit that the Dark Eldar got is the fact that they have a lot of characters with fly, the fly keyword.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
If you have fly, you're able to disengage from combat and shoot the same turn without any penalties. And so that was something that got me in my last game. I was playing against the Interceptors, which are the flying Primaris Marines, and I thought I had him kind of dead to rights until he flew out of combat right next to one of my characters and just lit him up.
Yep.
And without the penalty, he made all of his hits, and the fact that he was standing close to a Gravis captain allowed him to reroll any ones to hit as well.
Oh, geez.
Whoa.
I mean, it
Oh.
adds some cool synergy
Yeah.
and some great, visuals as you consider it, because the Interceptors, if they roll a 6 to charge, they do a mortal wound.
Yeah.
So they do a mortal wound, beat the shit out of you. Sorry. Fly out, shoot someone else, and get benefits. It's really thematic. It's kind of cool.
Wow.
Yeah, and the Dark Eldar actually have a neat thing. So with Fly being extremely popular way to fight now, it seems that they also have the answer to it with some of their units able to prevent retreats.
Yeah.
Which
Yeah.
is
Yeah, I think whatever has like the whip things on
Yeah,
them.
whips and nets.
Yeah, like they'll basically stop you from. Thanks, Dark Eldar. They'll be able to stop you from leaving combat, which is really strong.
Can you name your Archon Christian Grey?
Is that a reference to 50 Shades
I
of Grey?
assume so.
Oh, okay. Movies that I have never watched. No.
You should. It's
if-
enlightening.
Okay.
How to be really risque with missionary sex.
Yeah, no. David Finn is taking his popular trashy book club live.
It's also a one-man stage show.
Yeah, it is. But yeah, if you want to read some Harlequin romance, not involving space, the 40k Harlequins.
Death Strike. Oh,
God, I can just imagine all the
to the
plans
side.
and all
Ignore my
rifling.
rifling. Somebody's asking a question. I need that Imperium
Or
book.
the checkered grey.
Oh, the Imperium book.
Chris
yeah.
Lyle is asking about how do we feel about Death Strike missile launchers. I'll be honest, I haven't even read it yet.
And then I think someone was talking about how there's also another fly rule that's a little bit different. Like there's fly, and then
Yes.
there's like another. What's that?
Jump jet?
Yeah, there's a different one that because I think Tau still have a separate rule than
the
just fly.
Tau jump packs. Well, they can't apparently jump out of combat anymore.
Yeah,
Or they receive all the penalties for doing it.
Something like that. Yeah.
Oh, they still get like the -1
Yeah.
hit.
First feedback on a Death Strike missile, it's got a range of 200 inches.
Oh,
Yeah.
man.
Good.
What?
I'm going to shoot that table in the next door over.
200 inches. How many feet is that? Quick math.
Oh, God, I don't feel like doing that.
Math.
Yeah.
Math.
All right.
Isn't that like almost
10 feet?
17, 18 feet?
Oh, I don't know.
It's like 17, 18
So
feet.
just divided by
Heavy
12 and
3d6. That's pretty good.
Has someone responded with how far 200 inches is?
No, yeah, that'd be like 15 feet. I don't get that. Is
So
that a
it'd be,
typo?
it'd be,
If you want to
be over
really
15,
big
it'd be
APOC game or
180.
do where like
So
I can shoot
it's
that
a
table
little
over there.
less than 17.
Is that a typo?
I think.
No.
Yeah.
No.
Like, you-
200 inches is fine. Like they've had stuff that's 72 inches, and it's not necessarily to like have a gaming element, but it's more of a like, hey, it can shoot anywhere on the board. Don't worry about it. This is kind of like a fluff aspect to
okay.
it. Is what I'm thinking. They might change it to 20 inches, and I could be wrong. but-
So I'm just going to say Death Strike
We had a
missile.
time where-
Death Strike missile sounds terrifying, by the
Yeah,
way.
is that a?
So you can target units that are not visible to bear, so you can fire anywhere on the board, 200. So you basically, if I'm here and
someone
you're
else's
over there, we're playing with a weird table and you're behind the wall, I can shoot you. For every hit you do, it's 3d6 shots. For every hit I do, you suffer a mortal wound. So theoretically, you could get 18 mortal wounds on the unit. More than likely, it's hitting on 4, usually 4 to 5.
9, 10.
So yeah, you're gonna get like if you're gonna roll an 11 on average, you're gonna hit 6 times, say. So you're gonna do about 6 wounds. But then after resolving all the damage, roll a d6 for every other unit within 6 of the target, and on 4+ they suffer d3 mortal wounds. That's terrifying.
Yeah.
That's
Whoa.
literally just going to like look at, like you just pick out a raid knight. And like, enjoy raid knight. I'm going to shoot you 3d6
Translation: Wraith Knight.
Also,
Yeah.
these are mortal wounds. So.
Yeah. So that was something that came up in my game.
times. He said, "Oh, it used to be infinite range." Shucks.
It's only 200 inches now.
Oh, Calvin said it's 16 feet 8 inches.
Like I
Thank
said,
you.
a little less than
He used his own
17.
measuring device.
Thank you, Calvin.
Someone used their calculator. I like it.
So.
Oh, I was just saying he used his penis.
No.
Calvin's the
no,
best.
David.
I love
No.
you, Calvin.
Stick to your book.
Stick to your book club. Stick to your book club. So.
That's my next book. It's called 16.8 Inches of Grey.
Oh.
Yeah.
Wow.
So. If we haven't scared off our.
That's not true. It actually just went down.
No.
So that was something that came up in my game that I actually didn't realize is that if you have something with the damage characteristic of like 3 or d6 and you only have a 1 wound like model in a unit, that whole like 6 damage gets applied to that one model. So it's not like you have like you fail 1 save and then 6 guys die like
Right.
Age of Sigmar.
Yeah.
But mortal wounds do.
Mortal
Yeah,
wounds
yeah.
carry over.
Mortal wounds carry over, and it's something that I
Mark,
guess I missed.
You know, you want to tell him as well what carries over because you told me 5 times yesterday.
Yeah, no, I did it once. Anyway, there's some weapons that will say excess wounds from this weapon will carry over to the next model. It will not be a mortal wound, so you would still get your save against it. But once it's failed, it will you pick up as many models as those wounds can do. So
What kind of weapons do that?
it was like a flail.
Oh,
So
okay,
you sweep across
Yeah.
people.
Yeah.
One guy
Good
dies
knight
and the next
flail.
one gets killed as well.
Is that Dark Angel Knights or
Yeah, it was,
whatever?
the
Very
knight,
nice.
the lieutenant of the Dark Angel Knights. Has
That's pretty
a
cool.
flail.
Oh, don't forget to share this stream. You can see a little share button. It should
Yeah.
be in the
I
bottom.
just shared it myself.
Yeah.
Pen
Share
pen
it.
up.
Put
Yes.
a comment in.
What
Like
are your
it.
thoughts
Put a love as well.
on
We
the
like
balance
that.
between melee combat and shooting from Alex.
So I mean, right now my experience is limited. I think same with Mark and David.
Yeah.
I mean, everybody is. We only have
yeah.
games in store because
Yeah.
we haven't actually physically played to see how it works out.
So from my brief game is melee is a lot better than it used to be. Like it's easier to get in melee. Melee is more effective, but with that whole regard, like now that you have pistols, you're now shooting in melee as well.
Yeah.
The whole fallback mechanic is once again a lot easier to disengage yourself from melee. So as of right now, I think it's pretty well balanced. Like you have so many options, and it's hard to tell how the game's going to end up. I don't play a super melee heavy force because it's Thousand Suns. I'm just going to sit there and cast spells all day. And Yeah, that's what I do. I'll just smite people left or right. I'm gonna
I
start.
was gonna say you're psyched about it.
Yeah.
Hey!
I'm gonna start playing the Nurgle guys, the Death Guard, for a bit, and they're a little bit more melee oriented than at least the Thousand Sons are.
Yeah.
So I'll probably have a bit better of experience with it. But I know World Eaters are crazy.
Yeah, World Eater's really crazy.
yeah.
What'd you say to me? Order like as many Carn Betrayers as
Yeah. No, like Karn gets 2 combat phases every combat phase.
I know I know for me, I've got 10 more Terminators to build. I've started building multiple Assault Marines. So I'm excited to use models I never used to use before. Sadly, Stern Guard aren't as good as they used to be because they took away my special ammo.
Oh, like, do they have any options?
Yeah, so
sorry, yeah.
no, you go.
Space Marines, me.
Yeah, you.
So instead of having the 5 modes of ammo is Death Watch only now. They only get that. Yeah.
Ouch.
Stern Guard ammo is Strength 4 minus 2 AP.
Oh.
But if you take a combi weapon, you lose that. So combi weapons are good and great, and every single Marine can have one in the Stern Guard unit, but they don't get the minus 2 AP. So I had started building a bunch of guys with like combi flamers, and now it's normal bolters with flamethrower instead of wounding out.
But still,
so not as broken as I thought it was going to be.
Yeah, still good though, because like building the combi weapon with the flamer gives you more options than just that. But it's not. Making a combi weapon isn't an automatic take over taking a combi.
No. Now you have to choose if you're going to take, normal standard Stern Guard. So I'll probably have squads of just those guys. Because minus 2 AP is
pretty good.
It's pretty good. Yeah.
Is there anything in terms of Overwatch? Because there's mention of like things like using fly or fallback in Overwatch. If you can,
So like as of right now, you can only do Overwatch if you stand still in the previous turn. So you can't like run around and intercept. You have to brace for the charge. And I don't know if there's any rules that get around that, but as of right, like Overwatch is always 6s. There's nothing that you can take to modify that, at least in the core rulebook.
Okay.
Because I tried preciousing my Thousand Sons and taking the charge, but there is no modifiers to it whatsoever.
So even looking at the Dark Angels, the Grim Resolve thing
is there? I think is it Tau that they can shoot at other targets?
Correct. Yeah.
Overwatch,
Tau still have that like support ability. So if you charge a Tau model, any other unit within 6 of that model that's being charged, if it's eligible for Overwatch, it can shoot Overwatch.
From what I understand,
based on the release schedule from Age of Sigmar, how often do you think codexes will be released for 40k?
Probably, I would say probably for the rest of the year. Like,
so based on the last like 3-4 Age of Sigmar releases. By the way, if you haven't played Age of Sigmar, play Age of Sigmar.
Yeah.
Probably every 6 weeks to 8 weeks you'll see a codex, I imagine, because they seem to have like 5 to 6 weeks of releases.
So I would probably say it might get a little bit expedited for 8th, just because a lot
getting
of
everyone situated.
At least at the beginning, because I'm almost positive we're going to see a new Marine Dex and the Death Guard Codex.
I wonder if
right
Marines and Primaris Marines will be 2 separate books.
Yeah.
I wonder will all Marines still have their own codexes again.
So one thing is the Primaris Marines don't have the Space Marine keyword, right?
Really?
Or sorry, like. I know there's something about their keyword that doesn't let them use the rhinos.
I thought it was just...
Well, no, the rhinos
Rhinos,
Rhinos just say they can't carry anything with Primaris keyword.
Oh, gotcha.
That's cool.
So do they have...
Yeah, Adeptus Astartes. Imperium, Primaris Lieutenants. Yeah. Oh, and then Jesse Carlisle wants to know if you can paint Primaris Marines and come in another chapter. Yeah, there's no specific iconography on that.
So the lore with the Primaris Marines is that Gulliman created them to either build up the waning chapters that already exist, and he also he founded multiple chapters of solely Primaris Marines. So you can make a mix and match whatever you want. Old chapters, new chapters, make your own.
Yeah.
Go.
Like Crimson Fist, because it specifically says that they get preferential treatment towards having more Primaris Marines.
Yeah.
Rich Mead says, with hand being better, any chance Space Wolves will be decent, or we're going to have to recruit a new bunch of Primaris Bloodclaws?
First off, Space Wolves were never not decent.
Space Wolves were really good at the end of last edition, especially.
Yeah, 50 wolves.
But so with that being said, at least in the fluff, Space Wolves just got decimated in the most recent campaign. So.
So fluff-wise, they have. I'll be interested to see. I said to someone yesterday, like a Space Wolf Primaris who's like spouting all his hair and stuff.
Yeah,
or Wolfen Primaris.
Max was talking about he played the Space Wolves at the end of 7th edition, but he said Thunderhammers are crazy now.
Yeah.
The Wolfen will just wield those all day.
Not striking last.
Yeah.
So Wolfen. So well, consider like Wolfen and the guys who are riding the wolves.
Yeah.
Thunderwolf
Cavalry.
Who move so fast and can charge into combat first. Will have probably a Stormstone, still have a Thunderhammer or Power Fist, and are just striking first.
Yeah,
because they
got the
charge.
Yep.
Because they're going to get the charge because they're beasts.
Yeah,
It's terrifying.
So it's one of those things. They're much quicker. They're going to be able to combat, and any slow weapon in the last edition is just better. Yeah, you're going to take a -1 to hit on some of the weapons, like Power Fists and all that.
Yeah, actually, to see if Thunderhammer's taking this, because I know Lysander doesn't.
Well, yeah, I believe Thunderhammers do.
Yeah.
But no, this is for you, Max, if you're watching now. All those, all those wolves that you got for 7th edition, I recommend you buy goblins, put them on those wolves, and play Sigmar.
Thunderhammer is -1 to hit as well. The same with the Power Fist. It's just a bigger minus, or it does 3 damage.
Yeah,
but Lysander doesn't have that -1.
Okay. Yeah, but there are a bunch of conversions I saw where they even took the Blood Bowl goblins, put them on the Space Wolves, and they look amazing.
Yeah. But that being said, the actual Fenrisian wolves are not a bad option.
No.
Same for a lot of reasons.
But you don't need 50.
Correct. So with some of the psychic powers and some of the abilities, you have to target the closest unit to you.
Yeah.
So having cheaper units like Zangors for Thousand Suns, the Fenrisian wolves, Imperial Guard.
Yeah, it's like any guardsman.
Yeah. Basically, using cheap disposable infantry in front of your expensive stuff will save you a lot of damage on the things that you want to protect.
Yeah.
Just because of how a lot of the rules work now.
I reviewed the orders for Imperial Guard. They're actually pretty nifty. Like, they don't have the jump or fly rule, but you can just give them an order to retreat and shoot. They can still do that, or they can. Yeah, it's just the orders are basically anything that anyone else can do, as long as you like have a guy that can issue the order. They can do it.
Wait, guard?
Yeah, like guard. Like one of the orders is you add 1 to the shooting characteristic. So like. First, the whole first rank fire, second rank fire.
That doesn't work on vehicles, though, right? Because
no.
Jeremy Jones is asking that tank commanders only give to Layman Rust or any character that helps Hellhounds. First off, I'm reading the Hellhounds, and I don't see how they need help because all their stuff is like heavy D6, heavy D3. The Melta Cannon's -4 with D6 damage, strength 8. Oof. The Inferno Cannon is strength 6, -1 damage 2. And the Chem Cannon with wounds on a 2+. Unless targeting vehicle which wounds at 6, -3 AP, damage 1. It doesn't need any help. Yep. And they're squadrons.
Yeah.
Dark Eldar have the same thing, though. They wound anything but a vehicle on a 4.
Yeah, but how this stuff automatically hits?
No, but I'm just saying, like...
They're all flamers.
Yeah. For those of you wondering how basically the Dark Eldar poison went, it went that route, where they can still hurt vehicles with it, so they're not stuck, like, watching tanks circle them.
I know, but I mean, Hellhounds seem extra powerful. It's kind of nice. I like that because I used to own like 6.
But so you're with first rank fire, second rank fire. I guess the old way you called the order, but it adds 1 to the shooting characteristic. So you are shoot 6 shots now. I think with rapid fire.
Yeah.
Because you're 2.
Start building those conscripts.
Yeah. No, Imperial Guard
4 shots. Sorry.
To me, it seems like Imperial Guard, Orcs, Tyranids, all made out like bandits. In the new edition change, a lot of the armies that can field a lot of models can just bury other armies under weight of fire, like guard tanks, just guardsmen blobs. Period. Orc boys. Oh god, I can't wait.
Orc boys that can shoot like 1 billion shots and then assault and
still shoot. Yeah, because. Like once they're in combat, they still have pistols, so they get that shot in the shooting phase versus whatever they're with. It's going to be crazy. I'm really excited to see those kind of like massive. Okay. I haven't played against a good swarm army in a while, and I like playing against like swarm versus smaller elite things.
Jim Gaudin has a good question actually. Ooh. How do allies work now? For instance, I saw that Genestealer cults can include Ashram in their army's regular troops, but nodding on NIDs. Is there like an allied attachment? No, there's no allied attachments anymore.
Emily Sampson, who do you want to kiss who? The models?
Oh, yeah, I was showing the regular Marine.
Oh, yeah.
Me and John kiss in my live one-stage show.
Or in your book club.
Or in the book club.
In the pages. So the way allies work now is you can take anything together, theoretically. as long as the entire army has the same matching keyword. So you can take Astra Militarum and Gene Stealers. I'm trying to see why that is. There's a reason.
Yeah, so there's a special rule allowing that.
Yeah, there's like a special rule for them.
Because they infiltrate.
But you could have
Imperial Guard all the time.
You can have that's how like all the Imperium allies work because they all have keyworded Imperium, so they can all go together. But you probably won't be able to do like Chaos and Space Marines because the keywords don't exist. Yeah, thanks, Colin. I already knew. Jerk.
Already knew what?
Get out. So there's no set allies, but you just have to have a shared keyword in your army, and you can do it. So that's how Gene Stealers and Tyranids will match together. How all the Eldar will match together.
Because they'll be
So
the big.
probably like Tau can't ally with.
Tau can't ally with anyone but Tau.
Really, yeah.
They're
Tau.
Tau. It's for the greater good.
Yeah. so it might be something down the line with like a new Tau Codex that you might be able to start taking like Imperial Guardsmen or something like that with the human auxiliaries.
I always hate that they didn't have any auxiliary rules anymore.
Yeah, but so once again, like we're probably going to see 6 codexes before December.
Yeah, I think so.
So maybe Tau will be one of those ones updated.
Jim. Yeah, Gene Stealers have keyword Tyranid, so
yeah, you can run them together.
They'll run together,
which is great because they like before they were desperate allies or allies of
allies of convenience because the Tyranids ate them.
Yeah, something like that.
I mean, that is very convenient.
Wow. Yeah,
I mean,
for one of them.
I'll be your ally. But after all this fighting, I'll be hungry.
Yeah, it's like
So-
never had a sandwich fight by my side before.
Is it the entire army or just the detachment? I believe the entire army has to have at least one matching keyword.
Correct.
And then each detachment. So if you have a detachment of Blood Angels, they get advantage of Blood Angel rules. And the detachment of Astra Militarum, they have the advantages that match Astra Militarum.
Yes.
And then the whole army has to be Imperial.
Yeah. So yeah, you can't take Tau and Chaos Space Marines in the same army anymore.
Yeah, no, it looks like Tau doesn't have anything in it.
Now, this is obviously match and or narrative.
And if we're wrong...
But open play, you can still just bring whatever you want.
Yeah, open play, bring whatever. However, if we're wrong and you guys, want to correct us, just don't.
No.
Yeah. I'll ban you and then win a cruise.
No. Too soon.
I had to get one in. Leave me
That's the
alone.
only one you get, though.
Yeah. But it's interesting. I like this allies matrix a lot more. Once again, like I'm always looking at it from the aspect of teaching someone how to play or giving demos. And to me, it's just easy to say, hey, do they at least all share one of the keywords? Yes, great. Your army's good. Go for it. Instead of saying, oh, hey, this formation has this X benefit, and even though they normally hate each other in the fluff, they're going with each other because of X, Y, Z.
Actually, one thing to note on the characteristics of the model, though, they actually finally go beyond their former boundaries. Like the Poxwalkers, 7-up save. That means they get nothing.
Yes.
Unless they make it to cover.
Correct.
And then they go up. That 7 goes to a 5-up.
With the 7-up save, do they get a refreshing lemon and lime soda?
No, sadly. Sadly, those died off
Damn right,
millennia
because
ago. But then there's also the strength stat can go beyond 10, stuff like that. So you can actually double out, a tough 9 model if you get a powerful enough weapon.
Yeah, and so like it's nice to have the like those confines taken away. A lot of times it won't really mean too much because once again they got rid of instant death, which I actually really like because it's really frustrating to have like the super cool character and then all of a sudden
better hope it has Eternal Warrior.
Yeah, exactly. And so they started passing out Eternal Warrior a lot, and now there's damage characteristics. So theoretically, you could kill someone in one hit if your damage characteristic is like 6 and they have 5 hit points.
Yeah, like you still hit a guy with a las cannon. You can still take out a 6-wound model with a single shot. But there's no more just
I'm trying to find that keyword thing that's...
it's under match play. It's like at the beginning.
Was it Hellfrost Pistol taking out Magnus turn 1?
So
that's the same detachments.
If we can segue quickly to power points versus regular points.
Yeah. So power points are used for narrative play, and they are rough estimations. It's before all the like extra stuff. I think it starts at like 176. I think
that's what I was just on. Yeah, you
anyway, so power points basically. They say roughly in a narrative way, these guys are around this power. Some people have tried doing conversions, and Like usually power points equate
20?
to 20-ish points for the actual match play, but it doesn't include any of the like war gear options that you can take. So like
if you want a more Age of Sigmar-esque game
Yeah.
where you just you take as many of the options as you deem necessary.
Mhm.
Like in Age of Sigmar, it's like take a specialist weapon and have a captain.
Yeah.
And then just determine how many guys you want in the unit. But they're definitely not doing that for 40K because you can have the
Yeah.
various weapon equipments.
Yeah, and some are like usually better than other options and are more expensive accordingly.
Yeah.
But if you and your friends, like let's say John wanted to start playing and he got his brother to play with him, instead of like going through the whole list building, like picking the model and then buying the war gear for it, you could just be like, oh hey, I have like 20 power points, just grab 20 power points of your stuff and let's throw down. And it should be roughly equivalent to each other. It's not going to be 100%, which is fine.
But in terms of just kind of getting in there, if I say to my brother, hey, let's go play real quick, come over and we can start playing in like 5-10 minutes.
Yeah, exactly.
Just throw the power
Yeah.
points together.
Sweet. Okay, David.
So just quickly going back for Jeremy's question, because he was asking where to find that rule about keywords. Page 214. Choose armies, army faction. All units in a match play army. So this is only for match play. With the exception of those that are unaligned, must have at least one faction keyword in common, even though they may be in different detachments. So you
And so they have to be in their
there has
mother
to be
army.
one thing that matches, so it has to be Imperium.
Yeah.
You could have a detachment of Admech and a detachment of Sisters of Battle,
Right.
but everything has to be Imperium in matched play. Open play, do whatever you feel like.
And narrative as well, you could kind of do it.
And narrative, you can pretty much,
Yeah.
Here's the thing, you discuss with your opponent, you can take whatever you feel like.
So narrative is designed exactly what it's listed as narrative play. You're supposed to have like reasons for stories for having guys go against each other like this. It's not supposed to be as serious. It's not designed to be tournament level gameplay. It's supposed to be fun. Make a story for it. Have a reason why those armies are duking it out. There's a lot of actually great narrative battle scenarios, like different missions and such like that to go with. And then when you get to match play, it becomes much more precise on how much each model costs and how much the war gear is.
And that's your tournament play.
Yep, and the missions are once again a lot more even on both sides, because like narrative you'll have like attackers and defenders, and like the defenders will be at a disadvantage, but once again it's narrative. You're trying to hold out for however long.
How about the there's a set amount of missions that are in match play, right? There's like
12.
12. Okay.
So there's 12, 6 Maelstrom, 6 Eternal War. One of them is going to use the tactical objective cards, and if you guys like playing those ones, definitely pre-order those tactical objective cards for us.
Oh yeah, speaking on bringing up pre-orders, you're in luck because we got mostly our final allocation for orders.
Yes.
And being Giga-Bites, because we're awesome, we have 120 starter sets coming, 50 core rulebooks, 60 of each index,
Nice.
60 tactical objective cards, I want to say 30 of the moon markers and terrain objective things. What am I missing?
Command dice.
30
and
gauges, 60 command dice.
60. Oh, nice.
Yeah. So we have a lot.
But they're already going pretty
They are
fast, right?
2/3 sold true right now.
Yes.
So
So please,
if you haven't pre-ordered,
please,
prepaid,
please.
Jesus.
Um,
Don't complain if you don't get anything on the
Yeah,
17.
Do it
'cause
now. Do
Comes
it
a
now.
warning.
If you know someone, you're like, dude, you've got to do it. Share the stream with
Yeah.
them. Tell them to go come here, prepay, pre-order. Chris asks, what do you think the normal point size for full games would be in 8th? In 7th, 1850 was the norm,
To
but things
2000.
seem more
I think
expensive
2000.
point-wise.
2000 to 25, I think.
Yeah, I think-
it's going to naturally go up.
What are command gauges?
command gauges are measuring tools.
Combat gauges.
Yeah, so combat gauges is what it's called. But basically, it's a measuring widget. It's done in the style of an Imperial Eagle. It has, I think, like 3 through 6 inches marked off on it.
Which
Which is
that's actually the Aquila. That's the Aquila.
but yeah, so it's coming out.
two-headed.
It's a nice little limited thing because I don't think they're going to make it. I think it's probably going to be a print run or something like that. Normally, things like that.
Combat
take place.
gauge, command dice, and the objective cards are one print, I believe.
Yes.
Wow.
So
I'm not 100% sure, but I'm pretty sure they're one.
That's normally the case with those
Historically.
kinds of items. So, like we said, if you guys are interested, even if you're mildly interested, let us know because we will hold everything for the release weekend unless it's paid for. And then,
They'll resell for $30 to $40 online.
yeah,
Calvin asks, I'm curious. We know that you guys absolutely love the what we love about the edition, but what is the least favorite change? that you have?
It's weird to not see Rend on bolters, considering what they are
Yeah,
lore-wise.
so-
Well, that's because they knew Primar stuff was coming out.
Yeah. The core mechanics of the game I absolutely love, and a lot of the stuff that I don't like is like necessarily like going to specific faction stuff. And this is things that they can address in their updates. Like we just got the preview of the first like rules update that's coming out in December. That's the chapter approved. So that's how they're going to be rebalancing stuff.
It's like John's handbook.
Yeah. Every year. So every year they're going to come out with like new point costs for the armies and things like that. Not updating the rules unless they need to, but for the most part, just updating points.
Yeah, the only thing I don't really like, I can't say I really dislike the rules, because I really like the rules.
Yeah.
The only thing I don't like is how the books are formatted, that the weapon options are in a different page.
Yeah.
I don't really like that. It just makes
Well,
it
they need an
awkward.
app for one. I would love to be able to just get just like AOS has.
Hopefully Army Builder updates soon.
Yeah, no, so Army Builder will be... I'm sure these guys are working hard on Army Builder, getting that done. But they did preview that they're coming out... Games Workshop's coming out with their own army building app.
Yes,
Yeah, they
thank
have
God.
a Frage of Sigmar too.
Yeah, Azir.
I wouldn't celebrate too much.
Well, so this one's going to be a web-based app.
Oh, good. Like,
So it hopefully will be a little bit easier. We don't know too many details about it, whether it's subscription-based or like if it's only PowerPoints or whatever, but they're at least coming out with something.
Yeah, hopefully it'll answer questions like how you can equip out guys. Age of Sigmar actually had a huge issue where it's like they didn't really say I had to stop with one.
Yeah.
So you'd have like a unit of goblins. Every single one is equipped with nets because nets were better.
Yeah.
And so it's like, oh yeah, here's my 60-man net block.
Yeah.
And
they fixed that by WYSIWYGing. If you don't have 60 models with nets, you don't get to do it.
no, but they actually
You only
limited
get
you
two.
to like.
You only get 2 nets in a box. So
They limited you to 3. Actually, is what they ended up doing in the app.
Yeah.
buying makes me more money.
The honest answer.
So,
Honest Dave, nothing shady here.
so I guess my big complaint right now is being the guy who always plays the Psyker heavy factions. The psychic disciplines are really light right now. It's 3 powers in each one. And I mean, most characters can cast 1 to 3 powers as it is. 3 if you're like a super strong character like Magnus. But I wish they were a little bit more filled out. But I think as the codexes release, like because Nurgle already got the Contagion discipline, where like Thousand Suns are taken from the base Chaos discipline right now. So I think as it comes out, they'll expand it a lot more.
Mitchell says Psyker rule seems to harm Psyker heavy armies. Only 1 of each power per turn, not including Smite. Is that
You
right?
guys needed to be harmed.
I thought everyone cast everything. Is what you said you found?
Yeah, from what I saw in the rulebook, it looked like everyone can cast at least one of their spells once. I was reading this last night at like 1 a.m., so I could have missed the...
You can't duplicate spells, right? So
Yeah.
So, like if I have Punch You into Facey spell, I can cast it. But if that guy also has Punch You into Face spell, he can't cast it.
Yeah,
We
like
can
that
cast
was
it
what the
twice.
initial thing was. I need to find it in the actual rulebook. The page number eluded me.
It's kind of an important thing to learn if you play.
Yeah, well, I mean, that's how I was playing yesterday.
Me, I'm just going to run chaplains.
But Smite's really powerful.
Fate and the Emperor.
Having easy cast Mortal Wound spell on all of my guys, I like the zotting. Just zot, zot, zot,
Well, I
zot.
mean, so Smite.
Yeah.
I thought Smite was really nasty. Like when I read it first, until perils on double 1 or double 6.
Yeah, so I played a game, it was like 6 turns, I actually didn't perils on a single one of my guys. Consider me lucky or not.
It's 136, right, to double 6. So
No,
whatever.
Well, but it's also double
because
ones.
you-
Yeah.
So it's
double
118.
ones
So
and-
it's 118.
So, I don't know, I've liked it, I like the Smite. Changes. Smite's one of those spells that can only affect the nearest one, so there's a lot of tactical limitations, like your opponent can place chaff units in front or keep characters or vehicles protected from Smite, but since it applies multiple mortal wounds, it can kill a lot of guys.
And Psykers are the only ones that can stop other Psykers. Right?
Correct, yeah.
Okay.
And so I played against someone who didn't have a single Psyker with them, and I just was able to... I mean, it's a 5-up to cast Smite, so it's pretty easy.
Hold it to the head, stops the Psyker
So
Psyker.
question we have, Chris asked, how do Sulexus?
Colexus?
Colexus Assassins?
Alexis?
Wow.
Let's find out. I'll look it up.
How are they doing now? And then Jeremy says, how are the Assassins? So I guess
So
which is
that-
Assassins?
the same thing.
Oh, the
yeah.
same thing?
Yeah,
Okay.
it's a Colexus. Assassin.
There's 4 assassins. What is it? Colexus.
Eversor, Vindicare, and Calidus.
Yep. So they all have different specialties.
Was it Vindicare was the sniper one? I think it was nasty.
What's lightning reflexes?
Before.
Sisters of Silence laugh at your psychers.
That is true. So does
Yeah.
the Calexis, because a Calexis assassin can never be targeted or affected by psychic powers in any way. Enemy psychers within 18 inches of a Calexis must subtract 2 from psychic test and deny the witch.
Yeah, that's pretty gross.
And they all have a 4+ symbol. 'cause they all
Okay,
like-
so you don't have to have a psyker to counter psychers.
You could have
can have an
Calexis
assassin.
or sisters. If you're
Yeah.
Imperium, Sisters of Silence also.
Yeah,
I think.
okay.
So that's one of the things with psychers is it looked like across the board the point cost for psychers went down, and a lot of that had come from the lack of diversity in how limited psychic abilities are now. But that being said, units like Thousand Suns and my Exalted Sorcerers, I felt went up in significant power outside of their psychic abilities. Lots of good special rules.
Everybody buy a Calexis assassin.
Oh,
Yeah.
really?
Salty 3, Strength 5, AP -4.
Whew!
Wow.
Changes weapon type to a Salty 6 if there's any enemy psychers within 18
Oh,
inches.
jeez.
Whoa!
So, and he can target a character that is a psyker, even if it's not the closest enemy.
Oh,
Whoa.
there we go.
And if he rolls a hit to wound, a hit roll of 6 with his psychic grenade, you suffer. And you're a demon or a psyker, you suffer a mortal wound instead of normal damage.
Yeah, that's real
Damn.
gross.
Okay. Alex asks opinions on the Custodian Guard.
They're looking really good. They're expensive. I think it's like 54 points per model. I can't remember if that's before or after equipment. But once again, they're powerful. They're able to get by. We didn't play. Tristan brought Custodians in, but he ended up not playing them because we were playing a smaller point game.
Yeah.
I mean, you don't want to just bring like 5 models versus my 30.
But they're just strength 5, tough 5.
Yeah.
So yeah, the toughness I think is definitely going to be a big issue that you're going to have to deal with.
Yeah.
Because I think.
I mean, they're -3
saves
rend with their
are gonna be
axes.
taken in gross number.
They're
Yeah.
super melee.
Do we still have the box set that has all the assassins in it?
No, they stopped making that a while ago.
Okay.
The Assassinorium Execution Force or whatever weird name that was.
It didn't save you money on the assassins anyway, unless you wanted Chaos too.
Yeah.
Because it's $32 for an assassin, and that was $125. So I think you saved like $3. But you had a bunch of Chaos models. If you wanted Chaos models, you saved money.
Yeah.
But if you just want the assassins, just buy them separately.
Brian asks, with the Yugo system in 40k and the ease with which things now die, won't armies just be alpha striked off the board before they can do anything?
Things are a lot, actually, like, that was the thing, is like, things are a lot more survivable than I thought they were, just like in Age of Sigmar. As of right now, what I've played with, things haven't just been, like, collapsing. Even with the morale test, like, I had, what is it? I took 7 wounds on a Leadership 7 unit. I lost 3 additional guys, but it was a blob of 20, so it didn't really, like...
Rob was playing Tristan the other day, and someone actually came up to me and he said, "I'm amazed it's like turn 3 and very little has died."
Yeah.
He said, like, stuff is getting plinked, wounds, like, but
Right.
nothing has actually really much died.
So like tactics might have to change where people
Yeah.
really
well,
want to
like,
focus on
cover is
you know.
important, because if you're trading is +2, right, for cover, and moving is a -1 to hit, so you're not going to
let's talk about terrain as well, since they've simplified that, right?
Yeah, so
Okay,
they
talk about that
simplified terrain. You don't have to roll, like, walk through terrain things and all that. And it's +1 cover,
nervous
and then it's +2 cover for your infantry. However, there's expanded rules for different terrain types in the rulebook. Did you look through those?
No, not yet.
Just real quick, because I see Ross said something. If you guys want to pre-order anything, that, do call us, because this is going to disappear on this.
Yeah. That's 100%. Either put it in a different thread or whatever. The videos are a terrible way to keep track of pre-orders.
Thoughts on orcs?
Well, like I said, they have the open top vehicle now,
Yeah.
so they're going to be the ones that get to shoot.
They'll be one of the few that can shoot from their vehicle.
Yep.
So, again, consider Ludas with their strength 8 or 8-inch range auto hitting.
Yep.
They're the only ones that
Their
can do it.
transports actually can do well in melee as well.
Yeah.
With the Death Roller.
Yeah, the
I think
death
they
rolls
hit
are really
from
good.
2s.
I ordered some death rolls for the store.
Yeah.
Because they look fantastic. And also don't forget that their morale bonus got fixed. So it's no longer like a random effect when they fail morale. If you have a knob in the squad, he just basically does D3 points of damage to the unit to not lose any more die. So, like, even though they have low morale, you're only going to be losing D3 guys at the most. To
And
keep
they still ignore battle shock after a certain amount as well. don't
Yeah,
they?
yeah.
Anyway,
yeah.
it's
So you have a big swarm. And the fact that you bring them with melee weapons, giving them an extra attack, and then pistols, which will give them an extra attack in the shooting phase in close combat, they're really vicious.
Transports are really good.
Yeah.
And paint him red.
Yeah.
And things like Mega Armor Knobs, who were never retaken, got buffed because I think they're tough 5, if I'm correct. But
Yeah.
they have 3 wounds.
Yeah.
2-up saves.
And so that's something with the new edition that people don't expect is that like you're pretty much always getting at least a save.
Yeah.
Very rarely is anyone's armor 100% negated. Like unless you have something that's like -4 or higher or whatever. You get at least an armor save. So
which is Custo. It's Custo to -4.
Yeah. Good
Really?
God. Yeah.
I believe it's
Is
either
there melee, maybe?
Their melee guardian spear.
Yeah.
It's +1 strength. It might be -3 actually. But
So with that being said, like things are a lot more active. Like you're taking a lot more saves. You might get them negated up to like a 5 or a 6-up, but your chance of dudes dying is a lot less in this edition.
I do enjoy the yes. It's no longer a yes or no on the armor save.
Yeah.
It's like I either get this amazing save or I get nothing at all. I thought was pretty crazy.
Now, there were some people asking about limits, like a 10 limit on toughness and stuff like that, but there's no limits, right?
there's no
Correct,
strength limits.
So, can you explain how
There's no-
the toughness, how the equals, greater or less, how
Yeah,
everything
yeah.
works?
So if you are stronger than something, you wound it on 3s normally. But if you double the toughness of something with your strength, you wound on 2s.
Yeah.
And then if something is tougher than you are strong, then you wound on 5s. And if it doubles your strength, then you wound on 6s.
Yeah.
So it's really simplistic.
Yeah. It's a nice, simple chart that you can like put on a postcard or a business card and just like have on the table. Be like, this is your wound chart. It's easy to follow.
Yeah, I can imagine sending a postcard like that. Hi, Mom, having a great time learning about 40K.
Yeah. But yeah, so it's really nice. Like anything that you need, like any particular game rules that you need, can be really summed up in like small cards that you have on the table. I think after a couple months of you actually getting to play the game, having the rulebook nearby won't be as much of a necessity, except for maybe like the mission specifics.
Yeah.
But the game itself is really easy to learn. The games are a lot more interactive, especially with the saves. Like you're pretty much always getting a save. You're going to be choosing combat initiatives. The buffs from your characters is another good change from it because you're going to be measuring, like, oh, hey, I need to make sure at least one of this unit's within 6 inches or 9 inches of my character.
Gone are the days of conga lining a line of guys back to your character so he's close.
Yeah.
So now you want him close because he's going to have all those buffs and
Exactly.
benefits.
Now the 6-inch aura is definitely a way to have your characters actually where the fighting is. It's no longer I'm going to hide in this building and have a little chain of command.
Yeah, so the games themselves, like 40K's always been a really cinematic game. Like the games look great. There's always beautiful models, beautiful terrain, all that. But now with how the rules are designed, they're making sure that everyone's getting out and fighting.
Yeah.
If you want to run like a super heavy tank army that sits in the back, you can do that. But once again, like everything's going to kind of behave how it should for that style of unit.
But it's definitely going to be great. Like with the Primaris Marines, you have in the starter box, you have 2 lieutenants because those guys are supposed to go out with the Primaris Marines, and then you'll have the captain with one of them. But
What about the standard bearer?
the standard bearer? You need it near, like any character really needs to be near the units
To get
that
full
it wants
benefit,
support.
yeah.
Yeah, because everything basically has that 6-inch bubble. Something I think something in Nurgle has a 7-inch bubble because it's 7.
Yeah. Same with Zinch. What is it? Magnus has a 9-inch bubble.
Yeah.
So large base too.
Yeah, each Chaos God has a number they favor.
Now
so
is
they
that
really
measured
like to
from
fluff
the
it
edge
in.
of the base?
Yeah,
It's from the edge.
So a large base is good because that's even extra.
Correct. And so unlike Age of Sigmar where it's model to model, 40K is still sticking to bases.
Sweet.
So Mike Vergamini? I'm very apologize if I messed up. Favorite tier in the Big Bug is Carnifex outclassed by newer MCs. And then John Burgeon is saying that it's very cheap. 100 points. I'm trying to look up the point.
Oh, the Carnifex?
Carnifex.
Yeah. So I looked at I've always favored Nidzilla.
Nice.
And which is for those few who probably don't know what Nidzilla is, it's
67
taking
points.
all of the big guys. The Carnifex looks crazy.
He does look good.
He's on the cheaper end for a monstrous creature. Has all these attack options. The choice between Crushing Claws and Scything Talons is insane.
You can give him 4 Sighting Talons. You reroll hits to 1 attacking his weapon. If he has more than 1 pair, he can make 1 additional attack with his weapon each time it fights. For a -3 damage, strength 6.
Yeah.
And that's only 107 points.
Yeah.
For those 2 weapons and the base model.
Yeah.
So,
And you can now like the tail weapons do stuff too. Like it's really tempting to go Tyranids.
And someone also asked about, like if you have turrets, it used to have line of sight and stuff, and now it's basically modeled.
Wow, yeah. Mitchell just pointed this out, and I hadn't noticed that the Carnifex doesn't degrade when he takes wounds.
Oh,
Carnifex is a real
really?
OP. So, like, things like the Trigon here, as he gets wounded, his weapon skill, ballistics, and movement goes down. The Carnifex doesn't have that. He's just
Yeah.
I mean,
He's just like
Carnifex.
Eight wounds.
Eight
And
wounds.
you can take 3 of them in a squad as one choice.
Carnifex
Oh.
squad.
Place them on the table within 6 inches, and then they move independently.
Oh.
And when they finish their charge on a 4+, the unit takes a mortal wound. So they just literally fire and release 300 points, and you have these 3 big terrifying things charging across the board.
Oh wow, that's
Rerolling ones with 5 attacks.
Nit's got
So,
a
yeah,
big
Carnifexes are
benefit.
good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
nice.
I like that because that's actually very fluff.
Yeah.
Is very thematic. If you guys have read the last Sides of the Emperor book, they actually describe them getting Carnifex's Brood of 3 breaks through the gate and they're fighting them, and a librarian stands up and kills it. But it doesn't recognize for 15 seconds that it's dead, so it kills the librarian, and it goes, oh. Yeah. Fantastic.
It makes me think of
the post office here.
Starship Troopers. They think they killed one, and they're expecting the body, and then just dead. Straight up.
We actually time-wise, we're done.
Yeah, so we have a bunch of... real quick, there's a bunch of other stuff that we want to talk about that we'll probably have to try to cover next week, ranging from the new retailer agreement with Alliance, Age of Sigmar. This June is the Retribution of Syra, big release from Privateer Press. God, there was a lot to talk about. Unfortunately, 8th edition is just it's noon o'clock.
I have to be over in Swanee at 1.
John's about to turn into a pumpkin.
Yeah.
So signing off. David's running around. Oh yeah, guys, go to our merch site, gigaswag.com, giga-swag.com. We have a new limited design for June.
Napoleon.
If you
Napoleon
got,
Giga Power.
it was something that I did for the store. So I would love to see a lot of people running around in a shirt that I did. But this is the start of our limited edition series. So now each month we'll have a new design up only for that month. So it's going to be giga-swag.com. It's really easy to get to, really easy to order.
And I will say, these shirts, I picked these shirts.
Yeah.
They're so comfy and soft.
Good.
Sometimes you get shirts and you buy them, we used to have them in the old, they're rigid and a little hard and starchy. They're just not comfortable. This is a shirt I just wear.
Yeah.
I'd wear every day because it's nice. I don't buy cheap shirts.
So come to the store and look at your respective things. So when you pre-order, you can look at it and say, okay, definitely.
If you guys want a demo game, today's a good day to come by, get a demo game. Rob will be here this afternoon. We're running our first Friday night fights.
I'm going to actually come back and live stream it.
Yeah. 8th edition, so we'll be broadcasting that.
And Atlanta 40K series is June 24th. It's going to be an 8th edition.
Yeah.
We had 2 copies of the rulebook. I actually lent one to the TOs for Atlanta 40K series, so they'll be up on the rules for that. June 24th. Pre-register, please. James Matchett wanted to hear my Alliance opinions on the ANA agreement. I don't like it.
Yeah. Don't have time for it, unfortunately.
Don't have time Unless John comes back later and I'm still here.
I will.
A quick interview about how angry I am about that.
Yeah.
I'm not really angry.
So thank you everyone for tuning in. We'll see you guys next week.
Yeah.
Oh, what's a good time? While he's running off, turn it off. Good time for demo games.
Come by 2 o'clock today.
2 o'clock today.
Yep.
And any day.
Yeah.
But mainly today.
Goodbye.
Bye.
Goodbye.